We're here in sunny California, and we're talking to the sage of Winston County, Alabama. It's Pat Buttram. Hi, and welcome to Those Were the Days.
Well, thank you very much. I'll do a little saging for you here if you want me to. I don't know.
Well, all of your friends from Chicago want to be remembered to you. Remember you on the National Barn Dance and so many shows.
I started a show on CBS there a few years back. Well, quite a while back. In the afternoon called Just Entertainment for Wrigley, and I put together a group in a band, and I got the Jack Halloran Quartet that was singing around town there, and I brought them out here and moved the show out to Hollywood and did it from here, and for years. So if anyone back there is wondering where the Jack Halloran Quartet went, they are out here now.
Well, they'll be glad to know that. They're looking. They've been looking for him since 1956 when that started, right?
That's it.
About that time. Well, you must have known Les Atlas and all the folks at WBBM.
I was back there visiting a while back. A few years back when Les was still running WBBM and all, and I had a date with an old girlfriend, and I was to meet her that night, and Les said, well, this morning we'll go out on the boat for a while on Lake Michigan. So we went out on the boat, and he kept me out there for 2 days. He wouldn't let me come back. I couldn't use ship to shore to call this girl. He got me back just in time to catch a plane back to LA. And so if... Georgine, if you're listening back there, that's what happened, I swear.
Well, you have had a long career in the radio business. When did it start on radio for you?
You named it there on the National Barn Dance.
That was the Barn Dance.
I did a little radio in Alabama where I was born, but as soon as I got bus fare, I left there and went to Chicago. And
so you worked at the 8th Street Theater with Lula Bell and Scotty, I suppose, and all of those folks?
Little George Goebel and Archie and the Williams brothers and Homer and Jethro and Rex Allen.
There was someone on that show called Baby Genevieve. Wasn't that a man, kind of a big guy who did the little girl voice?
Yeah, he was very short, and he weighed 300 and something pounds, and very funny. And he had this Genevieve costume, a little girl's costume, a skirt and the panties and a bonnet and all that, and he'd come out in that and do a little girl voice. And so he left his car over there somewhere on Wabash one night, and his costume was in a suitcase in the back, and somebody stole it. And we've often wondered if there's a guy back there that still got that costume of that little girl that weighed almost 400 pounds. When you opened up that suitcase, I don't know what he thought.
I think they arrested that guy about 3 weeks ago in Chicago. Well, how did you meet Gene Autry?
He was on the Barn Dance. And he was coming out and making pictures, just starting to make pictures. And so he came back. When he'd come through the Midwest doing personal appearances, I would go with him on his personal appearances, and then we'd go back in and do the Barn Dance. And we were friends for all those years. And then after the war, I came out and became his sidekick.
Well, you were with him on the Melody Ranch broadcast for Wrigley's, too, for many years.
Yeah, I did a radio show and wrote that and did it for years and years. And then in the pictures...
You wrote the radio show?
While I was starting out on it, some of them. And then when television started and we did the Western picture and all, I wrote Shot Glass for him on those. So it's been quite a career. I've outlasted 4 publics in my time.
Well, you did a lot of work on television, too. Of course, in Green Acres, we can still see Mr. Haney regularly on that
7 years we had that.
7 years.
With the pig.
Arnold?
Yeah, not Ava, Arnold. Arnold, yeah.
Recently, you turned up on a Who's the Boss?
I did a two-parter that Tony Danza had written for me on there. And, And it seems I'm busier than ever. I do a morning radio show out here, and it's I just went in for 2 weeks. Gene Autry owns the station. I was going to, just kind of fill in and boost up what listeners I could there. And it's a very good, and one of the great disc jockeys, Robert W. Morgan. It's been all over. And it's gotten so big in town, I can't get out of it now. This has been about a year and a half, and it's going bigger than ever.
So you're still a sidekick then, right?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. I've always, from Autry to Godfrey. I was with Godfrey for 4 years, going back and forth there. And Jack Parr, and I was on his show quite a bit. And Ava, I was her sidekick.
What was the best of times for you in all of these days? Maybe today is, but
I guess
in the good old days.
Yeah. Well, in the first place, that's a misnomer. What do you say last week? Misdemeanor?
Misnomer?
Misnomer. Good old days.
I remember her.
They weren't.
The girl he left in Chicago.
I forget her first name.
Yeah. They call them good old days, but we weren't good. And we weren't old, and it wasn't the days, it was the nights. So don't say good old days anymore. And I'm still going. I just want to stick around long enough to see who the hell gets Brooke Shields. I want to know.
Some midget.
Yeah. When she goes, there'll be nobody left to throw in the volcano,
Chuck, I would like to throw in something here. Pat is our house master of ceremonies.
For the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters.
That's the Pacific Pioneer Broadcasters.
Yeah.
Has been practically ever since we started.
Yeah. And I've got a lot of friends in Chicago that I get back to see and do commercials for. Doug Ekman of Ekman Stimpson, or Stimpson Ekman, I don't know which it is, agency. And then a lot of people there that I go back and hang around with. But I haven't found that girl yet. Georgine, I don't know where she moved.
Georgine Nomer. Yeah. Miss Nomer, that's the one.
That was her name.
Well, Pat, we're glad that you
there's
took a chance.
Pat, they're coming after us.
No, I don't. I think they're taking Dean Martin to lunch.
It's nice of you to spend a couple of minutes chatting with us. And your friends and fans in Chicago do say hello to you.
Cup and all the rest of them in there. One of my dear friends was Nate Gross, and I got there. I was a young kid and making 100 or so, 200 a week at WLS, and they would say, all I'm going to stand and say, there goes old country boy Pat in his limo on his way to the pump room. So I have big fond memories of Chicago, and if anybody says, what is your hometown? And I say it's Chicago. There'll always be a little piece of me standing out under the clock there, Marshall Fields, and waiting for somebody. Or sitting at the bar at Henry's in Merchandise Mart.
I bet you did your share at the Wrigley bar, sitting at the Wrigley bar too a little bit, huh?
Wrigley bar, scouts from Alcoholics Anonymous and the Betty Ford Clinic used to go there to pick the top draft choices every year. And it's a real memories I have. And if you hear or see anything where I'm in Chicago, any people will they can call you and you'll know where I'm staying.
Absolutely, yeah.
All right.
We'd like to have you stop by at the Museum of Broadcast Communication sometime in Chicago when you come by, because there's a lot of fans who would love to say hello to you again there.
All right. And so I'll got to go in now and do my warm down for the talk here today.
Thanks a lot, Pat.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
All right.
Thanks, Pat.
Thanks, lad.